Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson is serving her first term as Councilwoman at Large for the City of Philadelphia. She is the youngest African-American woman to be elected to Philadelphia City Council in November 2019. So without further ado, Councilwoman Gilmore Richardson, who is also my Winfield sister, you are up. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and good morning, everyone. I just want to take a point of quick personal privilege to thank you, Nazara, for the invitation and for all the work that you do and have done, particularly in Winfield on our business corridor. We would not be where we are without the work of you in the Commerce Department. So I just wanted to say thank you for your commitment to small businesses over the years. And thank all of you for being on the call this morning. This is really an exciting event. And I'm really glad to be here to support the efforts of the Commerce Department and Entrepreneur Works and all of you, because you are our incredibly important business owners who will take an opportunity and take advantage of this information to learn more about how you can utilize Google to market your business. So for me, I recognize and I know that this has been a particularly hard time to run a business. A really quick story, when my family first migrated from South Carolina, all of my uncles opened the Roberts family grocery convenience stores in North Philadelphia. They had a location at 15th and Dauphin, and we no longer have that family business, but we recognize the importance of small businesses and how difficult it is to run a small business. And I know that all of you have had to adapt to a new way of life in this moment, but I know that business owners have had that extra burden. So in March, just 3 days after the first reported case of COVID in Philadelphia, I called on Mayor Kinney to enact measures to mitigate losses experienced by our small business community amongst COVID-19. And the Philadelphia Commerce Department answered my call and created the COVID-19 Small Business Relief Fund, which you had already been working on. Commerce, when we reached out and called, Commerce was on the pulse of the business community, working on a small business relief fund. And for that, I say thank you to the Commerce Department. This fund gave out over $13 million to over 2,000 small businesses, 66% of which were minority owned. And this was a great accomplishment, and I was really proud to see our Commerce Department really leap into action and support our businesses right away. So thank you very, very much for that work. I've also been working to support businesses throughout the shutdown by hosting virtual conversations with the council member. And these events featured a wide range of guests, including congressional representatives, state representatives, policy experts, CDFIs, and business support organizations, as well as the utility companies and the revenue department, just to make sure businesses had access to all the available information on the different types of grants, loans, and programs that were available to you. And from the PPP to the state COVID-19 relief funds to the list funding, just to stay up to date on what's happening, not only here in Philadelphia, but in Harrisburg and in DC as well. We wanted to make sure that we were working with Commerce to be a one-stop shop for all of you to be able to hear from experts to receive updates. And then this is important, this is pivotal. On top of COVID-19, many of our small business owners took another hit when there was civil unrest. And we were out in the community, and I was out with my district council colleagues at 52nd and Parkside the day after we experienced civil unrest, particularly in Winfield and Parkside. And we saw the destruction, we saw the damage. We were out speaking with the business owners, and we used our platforms to call for peace, but also to remind Philadelphians that while we absolutely need to root out structural oppression in all its forms, destroying our neighborhood business corridors will not do that. It only harmed our seniors who could not get their medication, our working parents who had to go further to get to a grocery store, or all of you, the business owners who had to put all of their hard-earned savings into reviving their businesses. So that next morning, we were out at 52nd and Parkside with my sorority sisters and fraternity brothers working to clean up the entire corridor. And we did that throughout the city. We were downtown one day. We were at 52nd and Market with my colleagues another day. We were at 52nd and Parkside because we recognize and value the importance of small businesses in the Philadelphia community. We've also been focused on workforce issues. One of the biggest things that I think we'll have to deal with in the wake of COVID-19 is how employment will change, how we'll need to reskill and upskill and support small businesses so that you can hire those individuals that need to reskill and upskill. But overall, over the last 6 months, I know and recognize things have been very, very difficult for our small local business owners. To have to shut your doors, to apply for complicated loan programs that may or may not be forgiven, to try to keep your employees, or to just adapt to the local needs and the guidelines. I recognize all you have gone through to try to stay afloat. And you're all more than just business owners. You're people who have health concerns, you have families, you are amongst and in our communities, and you support our communities, and we really want to see you thrive. So we've all been deeply changed by this pandemic. I know that personally I have, and I hope you know that we are here for you, to be an advocate for you, to be a supporter of you, someone who you can call on when you have questions or concerns about any of these programs or regulations, anything that we can do. My team and I, we are here to serve you, and we come to events like this to let you know that we haven't forgotten the burden you've had to bear over the last 6 to 8 months now. So I'm here and I'm listening. I want to thank you all so much for your perseverance through this unprecedented crisis. I'm glad to see that so many of you are here coming out to these sessions to learn about new ways to do business, because that will be the key as we move forward and grow stronger as a result of this pandemic and all the civil unrest and everything that has happened in our country. And to be able to learn how to utilize Google to improve your business, and I'll even throw in there social media. I know that I have supported a number of small businesses just through Google and through social media. So I hope that you all take advantage and continue to take advantage of programs like this. I want to again thank the Commerce Department and Entrepreneur Works and all of your teams who have worked so tirelessly to keep our local businesses up and running, and to make sure my colleagues and I are aware of the needs of business owners. So thank you again for the opportunity to speak with you today. Please don't hesitate to contact my office at 215-686-0454 with any needs or concerns, and we'd be more than happy to help you. We are here for you, and we will get through this together. So thank you so much, Commerce, and thank you, Entrepreneurship Works, and have a wonderful morning.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ting Wen. I work as one of the service managers, business service managers, Department of Commerce. Today, we want to share with all the business community what program services my office can assist all the local and neighborhood business owners. Office of Business Service, we are one of the front gate to help business in the city of Philadelphia at every stage to navigate the city agencies. We, for every stage of the business, we can help not only startup, also established business, and also business who is looking for relocation. As council member Richardson just mentioned, we are the one-stop shop for all the business-related services, including license and permit, zoning, and guides for businesses, and also understanding the business updates, regulation, and different programs. For the license permit, we advise and give guidance to the business if they want to know for their industry specific what license they need to start their business and what are specific permits they may need in order to operate their business. Zoning is regarding the use of their commercial space that regulate what business type they are allowed to open at their commercial space. So we are facilitating and helping business owner to give them guidance for the zoning. And the guides for business, which is more comprehensive, that include what are the scope of the project they may need to open the business, and also what would be the paperwork for them to be on the book and running a legit business. And also regarding the business regulation, we actually did a lot of business outreach to update the regulation during COVID-19 and post-COVID-19. For instance, we outreach to each neighborhood commercial corridor to advise them the outdoor dining permit application process and give them the update that they are entitled and they can apply for the outdoor dining permit to help them generate more revenue during the COVID-19. And also when the city reopened for the indoor dining for the restaurant, we help to advise the restaurant owner to educate them what is the regulation for the indoor dining policies. Program events, we during our regular before COVID-19 and post-COVID-19, our regular program including business lending network, that is a capital program to bring the financial assistance to all the business. And also we have our storefront improvement program that we are advocating all the business and property owner to reinvest their storefront to improve the facade. So we are making the commercial corridor more inviting and to revitalize the commercial corridor. Events, we do our year-round coffee commerce event. And actually today's event is our first virtual coffee commerce event after COVID-19. Besides the coffee commerce, we also in the past few years, we went to different neighborhood. We do neighborhood visit and came to each neighborhood business to have a one-on-one visit and create a dialogue to understand what is their needs and how as a city agency we can help them to deliver and work with each neighborhood business owner. Help identify and connect you to resource for your business. So we have total 7 Office of Business Service Managers assigned by geographic location. And and as you probably can see from the Zoom, they are here also in the Zoom webinar today. If you are in any geographic location, you can call our hotline number, which is 215-683-2100, and we can connect you to the assigned business service manager by geographic location. And you can also email business@phila.gov for any business related questions or any way we can assist you. In the end, this is my contact, Ting Wen, and I'm the service manager for South Philadelphia. My email is ting.wen@phila.gov. Thank you.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. All right. Thank you, Councilwoman. I apologize I couldn't get on at the end of your remarks, but we truly appreciate you taking time out to join us and speak with our small businesses. Thank you, Ting, for sharing how the Office of Business Services can assist the businesses on this call. And so now we want to turn it over to our presenters and partners, Entrepreneur Works, who will kick us off for the special part of our workshop, which is Google My Business. And so, Earl, you're up.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Earl Boyd, Director of Entrepreneur Services at Entrepreneur Works. And I'd first like to thank all of you for coming out this morning for our seminar. I think I'm unmuted now, but thanks for everybody for coming out for today's seminar. We're going to commit ourselves to making it a very productive morning for you by providing you some information that's going to make a difference for your business. And I certainly appreciate it. I also would like to extend an appreciation to the Commerce Department. We have been very fortunate here in Philadelphia, those of us who are small business owners and providers of services to small businesses, we are very fortunate to have a Commerce Department like we have. The Commerce Department has been very assertive and aggressive and taking real initiative to help the business community during the COVID crisis. They've stepped up with several programs, extended money, provided technical assistance, all the things that small businesses needed. And I'd like to thank the Commerce Department for doing that and also making our organization, the Entrepreneur Works, a part of its approach and a part of its program. So I'd like to start off by just telling you a little bit about Entrepreneur Works, what we do, what our organization is involved in. Basically, for you all who don't know, Entrepreneur Works is an organization that provides business services to help people either start businesses or grow businesses. And our services basically fall into three categories. First, our primary lead service is in the area of financing, primarily in the form of loans. We make loans in amounts from $500 to $50,000. We have a couple of special programs. One is our Women's First program, which provides a reduced interest rate on borrowing from $500 to $50,000 to women-owned businesses. We also provide funding to startups. Sometimes startups can find a real challenge to find necessary financing they need to get started. We provide financing up to $15,000 for businesses that are starting. And also we are testing a couple of new products that have been delayed somewhat by COVID, but will be coming online a little later, one of which is that we are testing a line of credit product. So that's what we do on the lending side. The other area of service we provide is technical assistance in the form of workshops and classes similar to what we're going to have today. Our loan applicants and recipients also are eligible for technical assistance. During the COVID crisis, we'll be offering some one-on-one technical assistance thanks to the Commerce Department to assist businesses with digital marketing as well as financial management. We have a couple of special programs that help certain industries in the marketplace. First, there's the beauty industry with barbers and beauty salons. We have a special focus on that industry. And we also serve as the entrepreneur and work residence at the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. Another special program that we offer this year and hopefully will be beginning in January is the Empowered by GoDaddy series, which provides a lot of resources and tools free to business owners who go through that program. And the third area of service is in the area of networking and relationship building. We provide our business owners an opportunity to build relationships, establish networks by sponsoring events throughout the year. So that's what we do at Entrepreneur Works. But now I'd like to move on right into today's program, which is about online marketing. And we were talking about Google. And I have this question here to ask you, do you use online marketing in your business? But I'd like to ask another question. Everyone talks about the ability to use social media, email marketing, other online marketing tools to promote your business, particularly here in the COVID era. However, that's easier said than done. So I'd like to ask the question, what are some of the challenges that people are experiencing implementing an online program in their business? And you can put your answer in the chat. I'd just like to hear from a few people. What are some of your challenges to doing online marketing? So we'll see if we get some answers in the chat. Don't be shy. Not understanding how much to bid for pay for advertising. Getting an audience. Google, Facebook, reaching younger generations, having enough time to create quality content, creating engaging content, okay? So yeah, those are some of the challenges that we hear too. And the other thing that we find the challenges is one, the learning curve with just adapting yourself from what you've been doing marketing wise in the past to learning the tools and the resources associated with online marketing can be a challenge. Having the time, it takes a lot of time to implement a program and operate it effectively. The third thing is cost. You know, a lot of as someone asked about advertising, online advertising is a big tool, but it costs some money to be able to do that, to get the resource and expertise you need. There's a cost associated with it. Capacity. Who's going to be able to implement a program? You're running your business, you're doing those day-to-day activities, but do you have the ability to have a person on your staff to actually execute the program? And then the whole issue of technology. So those are some of the challenges that separate people from the idea and the thrill and the benefits of online marketing from some of the realities. And what we want to do today is to provide you a tool and a resource that's going to help you create real impact immediately in your business. Also something that's compatible with where you are in terms of your time, in terms of the technology that you have, in terms of your expertise and learning about digital marketing. And the third thing is it's cost effective. It creates impact, but at the same time too, doesn't challenge your budget or the dollars available in your business to make your business successful. So with that, we're going to bring on Bob Coleman, who's a digital marketing expert. He has several years of experience, has worked with small businesses of all kinds across many different industries, has a wealth of knowledge related to all areas of digital marketing, and has a real expertise in this Google My Business tool in terms of it working for small businesses. So I want to bring on Bob. Bob will take it from here, tell you a little bit about himself, and then talk about how you can take advantage of the impact, the compatibility, and the cost effectiveness of Google My Business. Bob?
Good morning, everyone, and it's great to be on this this webinar sponsored by the Commerce Department and Entrepreneur Works. I wanted to share my screen, but I guess the host has to enable that capacity. Can everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So again, thanks for this opportunity. We're going to be talking about Google My Business today. I am a fan of many of Google's tools, and this is probably one of the best tools that Google has if you're a small business owner. Earl gave you a little bit of background about me. I'm a web strategist, trainer, I'm a WordPress enthusiast. Most importantly, I am a digital marketer. So the lion's share of my income comes from selling things online, whether that be e-commerce, direct sales, affiliate marketing, or my work with SEO, SEM, and social media marketing, working with people to get their businesses more visible online. And I also serve as the director of marketing at the Prime Group, and I do consulting with Entrepreneur Works. So to kick this off, any business that is serving customers locally needs to be on Google My Business, also known as GMB, because it offers the greatest impact for brands seeking local exposure. And without a GMB account, a Google My Business account, you're really missing out on serious local sales and opportunities. And today, what I'm going to do is share with you what some of those opportunities are, how Google My Business can better serve your business, elevate your visibility, help you to bring in targeted customers, etc. Talk a little bit about the setup process, and then at the end, certainly entertain any questions that you may have. So the other thing about Google is that, or Google My Business, is that it's an underrated tool. But for those business owners who have embraced Google My Business, it has created incredible rewards for their business. So an interesting fact that was reported by Bright Local basically showed this, that the average business that's on the Google My Business platform receives 943 views per month, web views, and 317 map views. So that's over 1,000 views per month just from one platform, which happens to be Google My Business. Now, you should think about those of us who are, 50 plus. We remember when the Yellow Pages was the primary method for finding a business. Okay, they would be dropped off at our house, and if you wanted to find the nearest dry cleaners or the nearest television repair or air conditioning store or any service, you had to flip through the Yellow Pages, look at a listing, pick one, call them up on the phone, listen to their sales pitch, and then you would end up going to the business. No one does that in 2020. As my niece, who's 15 years old, said to me the other day, she said, big buddy, what you're talking about, that happened in the 20th century. And I had to really think about something I was telling her, which was only a couple of years ago, but she was right. It was a 20th century concept. And the Yellow Pages was a 20th century, 19th century concept. No one uses that. What people use today is this. They use their cell phone. So how many of you have been looking for a service or a product? You picked up your cell phone and you used voice search and said, where is the nearest Best Buys to my location? Or where is the nearest restaurant you were looking for, whether it was, I eat a lot of pho when I'm in Philadelphia, so I'll be out in University City and I'll say, where's the nearest pho spot? And Google will instantly pull back listings on my phone with a map and pins in the map and the ability to get directions to that business, call them on the phone, text them, email them. All of that comes from Google My Business. So if you're a local business owner and you don't have Google My Business, on average, you're missing out on 1,000 targeted visitors coming to your Google My Business page, whether they're coming by Google Maps or whether they're coming by Google Views, Google Search, because they're looking for a specific business, a specific service. And when they query that in Google, Google is going to return the businesses nearest to your location, because remember, Google uses geo-tagging. So if you have a cell phone, tablet, laptop, when you log into Google, Google knows where you are. They know your location. They know by the IP address that you log into. That's why if you go into your Gmail account at the very bottom, it'll have your location unless you're in incognito. If you're on your cell phone and you have the location feature enabled, Google knows your location and they triangulate the businesses near you based on the location on your cellular phone. So Google is able to pinpoint a business that's offering a service or a product to that consumer if you're on Google My Business. So why is Google My Business so crucial? 84% of consumers' search information comes from a company's GMB listing. Customers are 50% more likely to purchase when finding a brand through a GMB listing. Complete Google business profiles get 7 times more clicks than an empty listing. And 86% of people look up the location on Google Maps. Again, virtually no one uses the yellow pages or the white pages or any of those business directories that used to be dropped off at our businesses or on our porches residentially. No one uses that. They go into their cell phone, their tablet, their laptop, their desktop, and they enter the query into Google. So, sorry, my screen froze there for a second. GMB postings allow you to share a wealth of information with your audience without having to enter into a pricing or bidding war for paid advertisement. One of the questions or responses that was given when Earl asked about the challenges that people were having was, how do I figure out how much I should pay for my ads? With Google My Business, you don't have to worry about bidding for ad space on Google AdWords or Facebook or Instagram. But, and this is why I said it's an underrated service, despite all of the advantages that Google My Business offers, 56% of local businesses, local stores, local services have not claimed their listing, their local listing on Google. So what Google does is if you have a listing in any service, we call them citation services, whether it's the yellow pages, white pages, yellow pages online, Yelp, etc. If Google finds out about your business, they will populate a Google My Business page. But if it's not claimed, if you have not claimed your Google My Business page, one, it won't have your accurate information on it, and two, anyone else will be able to claim it if you don't. And we'll talk more about that shortly. And here's the best feature. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to subscribe, sign up, and pay a monthly fee. There's no advertising costs inherent in Google My Business. It is a free service offered by Google. All you've got to do is Google, literally Google My Business, sign up, and all you need to sign up is a Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, they're free also. You just create a Gmail account, and that will allow you to sign up for Google My Business. It's a free service. Now, why is Google so powerful? Because they are the largest search engine in the world. Now, I know you've probably heard of Bing, and you've heard of Microsoft just made an investment into their new Edge platform, which they clandestinely released onto everyone's computer that has Windows 10. You woke up one morning and you saw this new Edge software loaded into your computer. Even though Microsoft has Edge and they have Bing, Google is the largest search engine in the world. They get over 63,000 searches per second on a given day. That doesn't include the near me search, which has increased by 2 times over the past year. And currently, Google's latest innovation or latest push, especially if you have a website, there's 2 things. One, your website has to be mobile ready. because Google has initiated, they did it about 8 months ago, it's called mobile first. If your website is not mobile optimized, then Google will reduce its visibility in their search engines, because more and more people use this to access the internet than they do a desktop or laptop. So Google recognizes that, and they want websites that offer products and services to be mobile optimized. The second thing that Google is doing, which Google My Business allows you to take advantage of, is voice search. So more and more technology is taking advantage of what's known as IoT, the Internet of Things. So you have Alexa, you have Google Mini, you have Siri, you have all of these devices that all that is necessary for you to interact with them is to speak to them. So no longer do you have to, especially on a cell phone, type in your query. You can just press the microphone, speak to Google, and Google will return the information that you're looking for. But keep that in mind. Google is the largest search engine. They take up approximately 70% of all search, depending on which service you use to query that data. But they are processing approximately 63,000 searches per second. 90% of people who come to your website, unless you have an established brand, have not made their mind up about the brand before starting their search. So unless you are a recognized brand, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Tasty Cake, Amoroso Rolls, when people are searching for those things, they already know the brand, they recognize what the brand stands for, they've had experience with the brand, but 90% of the people who come to your website or that find your brand haven't made their mind up before they started that search. Without Google My Business, what you're doing is you're missing, if you don't have it, you're missing the chance to be visible, even more so than your visibility if you practiced aggressive SEO techniques. Now, I do SEO professionally, and SEO, and one of the things Earl mentioned was a lot of these processes digitally take time. The kind of time that a business owner doesn't have when they're running their business, and unless they can afford to pay someone to perform this function for them. What Google My Business does is it bypasses a lot of the SEO work and elevates your presence online. Why does this happen? Who owns Google My Business? Google. Google is interested in promoting their products ahead of anyone else's. So if you're on a Google platform and you're utilizing Google, they are going to push their platforms to the head of the queue. By not being on Google, you're relying on your own SEO, the power of your own website, to get you to the top of the queue. Understand this. Everyone who is marketing online, whether they are selling a product or offering a service, wants to be on the first page of Google at positions 1, 2, or 3. Position 1 gets 37.5% of all clicks. So if 1,000 people search for your product or your service, and you're on the first page of Google, 375 people will click your listing on average, if you're position number 1. If you're position number 2, it's about between 18 and 22%. Position number 3 is about 15%. After position 3, the numbers go down precipitously. You start falling into single digits. No one clicks on those links. If you're on page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're not being seen. Google will not find you, or your customers will not find you because you're not being seen in the Google search engine. All right? So the last thing is, as I said, G&B listings get priority on the first page of Google. And that's where you want to be if you have a local business, especially if you understand the market, your target market, your niche, who your customers are. And we'll see some examples of this in just a minute. So here is a listing on Google Maps for a local business here in the area, one of my clients who allowed me to share their information. The query is Pet Grooming and Styling, Philadelphia. Now, this is an interesting screenshot because this business, which is Avery's Pet Styling Salon and Boutique, is actually located in Yeadon, Pennsylvania. Upper Darby, actually. They're in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. All right? But here's what I want you to notice. For the search term, pet grooming and styling, and I specifically said Philadelphia, because of their optimization on their Google My Business page, they appeared in the 3 box at position number 3 for that search query, but they appear in the organic search at position number 1. Remember when I said if you had 1,000 people searching for that term, if you're on the first page of Google, you're going to get 37.5% of the clicks because you're at position number 1. So even though this business is an Upper Darby business, because the majority of her customers are in the Philadelphia area, her Google My Business page has been optimized not just for Upper Darby and the surrounding counties, Chester County, et cetera, which she does serve, but for Philadelphia. So she appears in the 3 box. This will appear on the phone. If you search for this, there's the map with her location pin, but her website, her personal website, her business website appears at position number 1. That's because of Google My Business. Your Google listing isn't a website. It's a listing on Google that appears when a potential customer is searching for your business name or your service. That's why, in this case, Avery's pops up. It's a type of hub that allows customers to quickly find out all your contact information in one place. So in her Google My Business listing, it's going to have her reviews, her hours of business, her location, what services she provides, etc. So rather than having to go to her web page specifically, her company's web page specifically, find all of that information, Google My Business summarizes that very quickly. As your business grows, undergoes changes, Google My Business allows you to keep your customers informed and educated simultaneously. Here's another local business. This is Night Owl Vegan. It's a vegan meal delivery service, plant-based meal delivery service in Philadelphia. The interesting thing about Night Owl Vegan is that they use commercial kitchens, but even using a commercial kitchen, which is where their business address is located, they have a huge and prominent appearance in Google My Business. And we'll see some additional stats about their business as we move forward. This is a blow up of the last screen. So what you can see is not just reviews, it also shows what services. Her service is delivery, so where it says dine in, take out, there are X's, address, hours, where the menu can be located, phone number, photograph of the outside of the commercial kitchen, area that is served, Google My Business, again, very powerful. I already mentioned this, but it's worth noting, it can be your most powerful SEO tool. SEO stands for search engine optimization. How many of you have a website that gets no traffic or very little traffic, or the people who come to your website aren't necessarily the customers you want to serve? Oftentimes that is because of an SEO issue, an optimization issue in the search engine. One of the questions that was asked, or responses to Earl's question, was about content. So a lot of your optimization has to do with what type of content you're putting out to attract customers to your business. You know, there's back in the 80s, there was a movie that was called, a baseball movie came out called Field of Dreams. You know, if you build it, they will come, is the misquote. Well, when you build a website, just building it doesn't ensure that you're going to get customers. It has to be optimized. And you'll even have to optimize your Google My Business listing, but having a Google My Business listing, just having the listing that you've claimed is going to help your search engine optimization. I see Earl smiling because he knows that none of the people on this call have any idea what Field of Dreams is about. That's a 20th century reference, right, Earl? I know he was going to say that. I have to revise my analogies. All right, so I mentioned certain data that needs to be in your Google My Business, and that is your name, address, website link, business categories, operating hours, your logo, service area details, cover photo, other images. All right, and this chart simply ranked by importance. The most important thing is the name of the business, followed by the address, followed by the accurate phone number, your website, and your business category. Everything else sort of falls off after that. And this is why it's important to claim your listing, because if Google automatically puts up a Google My Business profile for you and any of that information is inaccurate. So for example, let's say you had a business at one area of the city. You started your business in Germantown and then you moved to Center City, but you didn't update your profile with your move information. So what's going to happen is Google will continue to serve your old location. Customers will, or potential customers will see that in the search engines. And when they go there or they call you and they can't find the location, it will begin a series of negative reviews and your Google My Business listing will begin to decline in the search engines. So here again, we're looking at Avery's, okay? Because one of the things that Google My Business allows you to do is to interact with your customers. So as you can see on this screenshot, Avery's has a 4.4 star review, 29 reviews. They have actually several Google My Business pages. I just happened to pull this one. But your customers can leave reviews and you can respond to the review in real time, or you can respond later that evening, later that week. But it's important to respond to reviews because reviews make up a big part of why people would want to do business with you. And this is another area that a lot of small businesses miss out on, is they don't solicit reviews from customers. Okay, why should I believe you? Because you said you've got a great product or a great service. Okay, this is why, how many of you here use Amazon or are an Amazon Prime member? When you log into Amazon, under every product, they have reviews. And they allow you to read the reviews of customers who have purchased that product, because psychologically, we're more inclined to believe people who are consumers like ourselves than we are the company. And this is why reviews are important, and businesses have to solicit or elicit reviews from their customers. You have a customer that you've been serving for some time, simply ask them, would you mind going to my Google My Business page and leaving a review? Were you satisfied with the service? I'd appreciate it if you go there and just tell people that you had a good experience at my business and leave a rating. It takes 3 or 4 seconds for them to log in and do this, but it means it has a huge impact, not just on the reputation of the business, but also on how Google sees your business when they see these star ratings, because these star ratings will also appear when your website and other queries appear in the search engines. And again, you can monitor your response. 86% of the people will hesitate to purchase from a business that has a negative online review. Don't ignore negative reviews. They can affect your sales. 72% of customers don't take action until they've read reviews. They're searching for reviews because before they visit your store or shop with you. What kind of reviews do you want to be waiting for them? Once you know the answer, start working towards it. So again, getting reviews is a part of being online and doing business. Businesses who reply to reviews at least 25% of the time get an average of 35% more revenue. Customers are looking for brands that reply to customers, regardless of whether it's a good or bad review. What customers want to know is that you care. So it doesn't matter whether you have, it matters, but it's not so much important if you get a negative review. Tyra Avery has gotten negative reviews because she's in the dog grooming business. So people get, they send their animal to her. She has a mobile grooming van. They have an expectation. Maybe the dog doesn't look the way that they expect it to look. And they've left reviews that said, I didn't really like the way that they groomed my dog. The way Tara overcomes that is she responds to the review. She'll say, I'm sorry that you weren't pleased with how our groomer handled that situation. We'd like to, make that situation right. If you would allow us to re-groom your dog next time, we'll do it for free. What that establishes is goodwill with her customers. And that's how she overcomes negative reviews, rather than just saying, that's a bad customer. I don't even know that person. I'm not going to respond to the review. Who cares? She responds, and that's why her reviews are still at 4.4. The other thing that Google allows you to do is to collect data, not guesswork. Google Insights allows you to use the data to improve how your business is functioning and how effective the Google My Business is. It focuses on how your customers find you on search, maps, and what they do after they find you. Okay, so how many views have you had? How and where your customers find your listing, actions customers take on your listings, and other interactions that customers may have with your G&B listing. So again, this is a live or a real insight from Avery's. And even though it's a pandemic, okay, this was for actually last month. She had 5,797 total searches for people interested in having their pets groomed. And if you notice here, the largest percentage of searches was through discovery. Customers who find your listing searching for a category, product, or service. Only a very small percentage of her inquiries came from her brand. Even though she has over 3,000 customers, only a small percentage came from people searching for the business Avery's Pet Styling Salon and Grooming Boutique. The majority came from people searching for, as I showed you earlier, pet grooming, pet styling in Philadelphia. That's how they discovered the business. And then you have those customers that just directly go because they know the business and they're looking for her specifically. But you can see from the metrics the power of affecting search. How many of you on this call would be happy if you were getting 5,700 searches a month for your product or service that don't cost you anything? You're not spending money on ads. You're not bidding on Facebook or Google, okay? You're not doing any extreme SEO. You simply have a listing that Google can find with accurate information about your business, the products and services that you offer, and it's generating 5,797 searches. Doesn't mean everyone clicks through, but it's giving your business visibility. Okay? Now I'm going to switch my screen for a second, so just bear with me because I want to show you something in real time. 1 second. Everyone see my screen? Hopefully. Okay, again, I talk to clients of mine and ask them for permission to share certain things because a lot of times when you're on webinars or you're on calls like this, the numbers have been manipulated and the presenter is only pulling, they've crafted information that they want you to see. So these are actual customers of mine, which is why I can show you their actual information. So I'm going to go in here and I wanted to show you something very specific since we're kind of on a teaching. So if you remember, I mentioned Night Owl Vegan earlier, and I said that they're operating from they're actually using kitchens to cook from. They don't even have their own location at this point. So I want to show you their numbers. Okay, this is the power of Google My Business. Their searches were 7,730 for vegan meal delivery. 7,730 searches. Again, only a small percentage is direct. No brand searches. None. Only 0.3 of the searches, of the 7,000 searches for her business, the product and service that she offers, were related to the brand Night Owl Vegan. 96.4% of the searches that found her business were through discovery. Customers who found her listing searching for a category, a product, or a service. This is a business that does not have a brick and mortar location, but they're getting close to 8,000 searches, discoveries per month. They don't pay anything for this traffic. It's free. This is why I said that Google My Business is one of the most underrated, underutilized services that Google has, and it's 100% free. Okay, here's a business. I'm going to show you one more, and then we're going to get back to the presentation and finish up because I'm taking too long. This is also from Night Owl Vegan, just real quick, and then we'll keep it moving. 9,100 views, 7,730 searches, total activity 14,000, and her searches and her map views are down by 10%. I just want that to sink in. Her numbers are down by 10%, but she had 14,000 activity. That searches and interaction with her brand using a free tool, okay? 56% of the people, of business owners, don't claim their Google My Business, okay? And I'm gonna give you one last one. This is an obscure business. This is a relatively new business, less than a year old, in an obscure space. They're a legal nurse consultant, but they're getting 362 searches for an obscure space like that. And notice once again, if you look at this, 97% of the people searching for their business are discovering them simply because they match the category for their product or service. It's not so much brand or direct interaction, it's people finding you. And if you are a local business that offers a product or service, that's what you want people to do, to find your business. Have them come to the doors, okay? So let me pop back over to this PowerPoint presentation so I can finish this up, and then we can entertain some questions. So again, just another quick chart where customers view your business on Google. This is part of Google Insights. I just walked you through with those three businesses, just the surface of what the metrics can do. But a lot of business owners, and a lot of business owners, and I can say this, I started my business in 1984. been in Philadelphia all of my life, or most of my life. A lot of business owners run their businesses on feeling and how they interact with the people that they're around. In the 21st century, especially if you're going to be marketing online, digitally, it's the numbers, it's the metrics that drive everything. You can have intuition, but if you are going to scale your business up, you've got to pay attention to these numbers. And that's one of the benefits of using Google, because they're going to tell you exactly where your traffic is coming from. They're going to tell you exactly who the people are who are coming to your business. Okay, so that you can then, if you're selling widgets and you sell purple widgets, green widgets, red widgets, and black widgets, and someone comes to you and says, I'm looking for yellow widgets, you have two choices. You can do the hard thing and try to convince them that they don't want a yellow widget, but they want an orange one or a purple one or a black one or a red one. Or you can say, you know what? The marketplace is looking for yellow widgets. I better call my manufacturer and have some yellow widgets created. And then selling the widgets is not so hard, because you're giving them what they want. That's what these metrics help you to do, is to determine what your customers want and then just give it to them. You don't have to make the hard sale. This is pretty self-explanatory. Having a Google My account, a business account, helps you complete your Google profile. G&B connects you to Google Maps, Google AdWords, Google Analytics, Tag Manager, and more. This is perfect for anyone doing e-commerce. Having access to these high-powered tools will not only rank and optimize your brand, but it helps your business stay up to date with digital trends. As things are changing online, Google's at the front of the queue. If you're participating in their processes with their products, they're going to keep you informed of what the latest opportunities are. Another advantage, Google My Business gives you an official website for free. So if you don't have a website, you're a small business owner, and you're one of the small business owners who has not yet invested in a website, once you sign up for Google My Business, you can get a Google website branded to your business. Okay, again, I'm using Night Owl Vegan as an example here, and I'm just going to pop over here real quick to show you. And this is the importance of this website. Again, it's 100% free. Doesn't cost you anything. When you sign up, name of the business. She's in the food business, so she has a menu, delivery hours. More importantly, it allows you to showcase your products, send people to your e-commerce platform where they can then make purchases. List your testimonials, you can write a review, gallery, all of this will appear on your website that Google is going to give you for free. So Google's constantly expanding. As we already know, they're a billion-dollar giant. They have tons of tools available for small business owners. The majority of them are free. Here is just a listing of some of the tools in addition to Google My Business that you can utilize. AdMob, which is an ad platform. AdSense, which is another ad platform that allows you to make money by putting ads on your own website. It's absolutely free. Google Chrome, we all know about. Their cloud platform is where you can get all of your interactive APIs to interact with your website. Their ad platform, again, it's free to sign up for Google Ads. You just have to pay for the ads. Blogger is a free way to set up a website. There's a ton of tools. I'm just listing a few of these here, but Google has a ton of tools, including Google My Business, which is absolutely free. Is it that important? So whether or not your business can and likely will get listed on Google, anyone can put your business name in and register it with Google. They can even supply your business hours, where you're located, so on and so forth. Would you rather be the person managing that listing, or would you want some random person to do it? So here's an example. In our agency, we use a proprietary software that interacts with Google Cloud Platform. We have a API that interacts with Google Cloud Platform, maps, local businesses, etc., that pulls back businesses. So in this case, I ran a query on hair salons in Philadelphia. That's all I typed in. These two businesses, HK Hair Studio, which is located out in 625 South 23rd Street, South Philly, and Liquid Hair Salon, which is down in Center City, are unclaimed. They have listings, but their business listings have not been claimed by the owner. Now, I could claim these businesses as my own. All I've got to do is contact Google and say, I'm the business owner, put my information in, now I own that listing. Then when Liquid Hair Salon or HK Hair Studio decides that they want to activate their listing, it's going to say, I own the listing, and I can sell them that listing for whatever dollar amount I'd like to, because I now own it. I now own that listing. This is why it's important to claim your listing. These are businesses, 4.7 rating, 4.4 rating. Notice there's no email address. They have websites. They don't have photos. And this number down here, this 40% and 22%, are numbers that just give me an indication of the amount of optimization for their Google My Business listing. There's 9 steps. I'm going to run through them real quick. There's 9 steps to setting up a Google My Business listing. Visit their website. Click the green button, Manage Now. Put the name of the business in. Address of the business. Is it a brick and mortar, or is it a service area business? There's 2 types. For brick and mortar, you drag the map marker to the location of your business. That's based on the address that you put in. For service businesses, you set it to set the service area. So if you are for example, with Night Owl Vegan, they are not a brick and mortar business. They're offering a service, so they can use service area. Categorize the business. Set what contact details to show the customer: phone number, email address, website address. Finish and verify the business. Now, verifying the business simply means there's 2 ways that Google does it. Either they allow you to do it by telephone, but more often what they do is they send a postcard to the physical address of the business. And once that postcard is received, it has a verification code on it that allows you to verify your business and claim your listing. Remember, 56% of local businesses are yet to claim their listing on Google. 56%, nearly 60% of the businesses that have a listing in Google My Business have yet to claim it. The Prime Group does professional G&B creation and optimization services. And we're actually going to, for everyone who's on this call who wants it, we will do a free audit of your G&B listing, let you know whether it's been claimed, if it has been claimed, how you can improve it. All you've got to do is go to theprimegroup.net/GMB, sign up. We'll get that audit done for you and get it emailed to you, and get your business optimized on GMB, or get your business listed on GMB, so you can start bringing in more customers and revenue. Thank you so much. And that is the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Yes.
I can hear you now. I think.
Can you guys hear me? I think it's through your thing, so. Can you just turn your computer on?
Try again.
Give me your laptop. I don't think so. I'm just gonna go through yours. All right, so we're gonna. Can you guys hear me? Yes?
Yes.
All right. So we do have some questions. And Bob, are you unmuted so that we can ask you the questions?
I think I am.
Okay. So first and foremost, the question was asked if we will be sending the recording. We will be sending the recording as soon as it becomes available to us through Zoom. So whatever email address you use to link into this workshop, then that is the email address we will be using to send the recording. The second question, and this is for you, Bob. Can geolocation also be used for other search engines such as DuckDuckGo?
You'd have to code that in.
I don't hear Bob.
Yes, the answer is yes. You can use geolocation for that, but there's some coding things you'd have to
Can't
do.
hear him. We can't hear you. We can hear Bob. They can hear Bob. So let him, okay. Bob, go ahead. You can respond.
Okay, so the answer to the question is yes. There might be some coding you'd have to do, but the answer is yes, you could do that.
Because I don't want to have the echo.
Okay. The second question, does a business need a website in order to use GMB?
No,
Google My Business.
no. No, they don't.
Okay, you want to expand a little bit more? They can just go in, fill out all the other information, and
Right. What you need is a Gmail account to activate your GMB. If you don't have a website, then you can activate the Google My Business free website and use that as your website until such time that you launch your own website, so that you would have a web presence. And you could use that and send people to that website because it allows you to post on it, show your videos, your images, your products, your services. You could do all that right on the free Google My Business site.
okay. Next question is, what if you do not have a business address and you don't feel comfortable giving away your home address?
Okay, so the easiest way to get around that, there's two ways. You can get a post office box, which Google won't like, or what you apply as a service, doing business as a service. You put your home address in, and then once you're verified, you just remove your address. That's the second way. And the third way, which is if you don't want to go through that process, would be to go to the UPS store and get a UPS PMB box, which is a private mailbox, but unlike the post office where it says PO Box XXX and just Philadelphia, PA zip code, the private mailbox actually has the address of the UPS store. So it would say Bob Coleman, PMB 22 1234 Anyway Lane, Philadelphia, PA. It's an actual physical address. That's the other way that you could do it.
We have a business that is saying they are receiving 700 searches per month on Google, but no new customers. So they're receiving 700 searches, but there are no new customers. They're not getting any new business from the searches.
Okay, so are they on Google My Business or this is just their website? If it's just their website, searches
It says from Google.
From Google. Okay, so then what they'd have to look at is the conversion process. So if someone's coming to my website, but they're not converting, it's not the traffic. It could be the traffic if it's the wrong people coming, but what they have to test is where are people going when they come to the website. So that what they really need to do is to activate Google Analytics, which is free. All you got to do is sign up for it using their Gmail account, attach the code to their website, and the analytics will show them specifically what people are doing when they come to their website. So you have this traffic coming, it comes to the website, how long does it stay on the page? Do they stay there for a couple of minutes and look around, or do they come and just bounce?
Got it. Next question, would I be able to use the offer if I already claimed and populated all the fields, but would like to better expose my business?
Sure, we can still do the audit.
Okay. If you have an e-commerce business, how would you compare Google My Business with using Pinterest marketing?
It's a Google product. So Google's the largest search engine in the world. They control 70% of traffic on the internet. When people are looking for something, they don't say Bing it, Yahoo it, they say what? Google it, okay? So there are other advantages which are beyond this webinar for why you want to use certain things in the Google ecosphere, because it just gives you, it supercharges what you're trying to do if you have a good relationship with Google, because they control so much of the bandwidth of search. So having a Google My Business page is going to help you in multiple ways.
All right, we have one last question. You said that you need a Gmail account to create the profile. I have a personal Gmail account, but our business email is different. Should we create a business Gmail also?
There's a couple ways that you can do it. You can use a business email on Google. You just have to register that email to be able to interact with the Google ecosphere. Google came out a few years ago with a tagline that says, one account for everything. So when you have a Gmail account, it allows you to interact with any Google product without having to remember, 80,000 passwords and where did I put this? You just enter your email address and that password, and it accesses all the Google properties that you're connected to. But the other thing that you can do if you have a business and you want to take it that way, I would investigate G Suites. Because G Suites is the paid version of Google's email, etc., which gives you, as a business owner, a lot more versatility and allows you to use that domain email address with Google and not have, abcbusiness@gmail.com, which after a while is not as professional as having your own domain branded email address.
Thank you, Bob. So we don't have any more questions. I want to thank all of you for joining our Coffee and Commerce. But I want to just share 3 or 4 takeaways that I've gotten from this workshop. And that is, 1, that Google My Business is 100% free. 2, it only takes 9 steps to get started. 3, make sure you solicit reviews, because that will attract new customers and create more revenue. More importantly, we said free. So Prime Group will also audit your Google account or your business to see if someone has claimed it. So you need to claim your free offer. Bob, if you can put that in the chat. With that being said, I would like to thank Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson for joining us and sharing, how she's supporting small businesses. I also would like to thank our partners, Entrepreneur Works, Earl Boyd, and Bob Coleman for this very useful information. I think businesses, this workshop was something very tangible that businesses can walk away with and set up. And so I am hoping that all of the businesses that are on this call, you will be I hope that you will set up your Google account and get that started ASAP. It's only 9 steps, so you should be started and set up by Friday. With that, thank you all. Have a great day. One more plug, Med Week, Minority Enterprise Development Week is coming up. It is the week of October 5th through October 9th. There will be over 25 virtual and in-person workshops that will be happening. It is a great resource to network, connect, and get access to resources. So visit www.phila.gov/med, MED-week to register and see all of the events that will be happening. And I will also like to thank my team, the Office of Business Services team, who is on this call, who works with our businesses and has been working around the clock to support you all. Have a great day. Earl? All right.
Hey, no, it was just one other thing that I wanted to make sure Bob got clear. The
Okay.
young lady that had the 700 searches has Google My Business, and that's where the searches are coming from. So she was wondering, why isn't she getting more business, even though she's getting the searches?
Yeah, so the response to that, if you can hear me, the response to that again comes down to conversions. So one of the things that you want to do is to, if you have not done so, is to create that free Google My Business website and post images of your products and services. Because when people see your listing, at the bottom of the listing, every 7 days, you should be posting a new image or a new video to your Google My Business website, because that's what shows up in the search engines that showcases your product or service that customers may want. And again, it's beyond this webinar, but it's really a conversion issue. But that's it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you again. Everyone have a great day and be safe.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.